Jealousy, it's one of those feelings that gets a really bad rap. We think of it as overwhelming, complicated, maybe even a little destructive. But what if we looked at it from a different angle? Today, we're going to explore the quiet, internal world of jealousy, not as some kind of character flaw, but as a deeply human experience.
Right, we always picture jealousy as this big, dramatic, possessive force that comes crashing in. But honestly, most of the time, it isn't like that at all. Sometimes it's much, much quieter, way more subtle.
And it's right there, in that quiet corner, that our story really begins. This isn't about big blow-ups or accusations. Nope. This is about that little internal monologue, the one that kicks off the second our insecurity gets pricked. Let's see how it all unfolds.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We've got a group of friends together, and on the surface, everything seems totally fine. But there's this undercurrent, A subtle shift in the energy that pretty much everyone can feel, even if nobody's quite ready to name it yet.
And here's Kabir. He's always the one with the jokes, trying to lighten the mood. But this time, the joke just doesn't quite land. The laughter's a little weak, a little forced, and that's our first real clue that the group's usual balance is off. The air is just kind of heavy.
And this is where Meera's emotional intelligence just shines. She's the one who actually gives a voice to that unspoken tension. She can tell the emotional weather has changed, and by just asking that simple question, she confirms that what everyone's feeling is real.
So what is it that actually sparks this feeling? Jealousy usually isn't triggered by some massive, dramatic event. More often than not, it's a small, almost insignificant little moment.
And there it is, a completely normal, totally innocent interaction. Tanay's just being friendly and casual with another girl. There's no flirting, no secret meaning, it's just a conversation. But for someone watching from the outside, well, it can feel like a whole lot more.
And you can see the ripple effect right away. Kabir, who is always observing, immediately clocks Rhea's reaction. Aryan, on the other hand, just wants to shut down any potential drama before it even begins. It's a perfect look at two common ways friends react. One acknowledges the feeling, and the other tries to pretend it isn't there.
See, the moment itself, totally neutral. But the impact, that was a different story. That small, casual exchange was the knock on the door. And for Rhea, jealousy just walked right into the room.
Okay, and this is really the heart of the whole thing. It's not about what Rhea does next, but about what she thinks. It's all about how she navigates that internal storm with, honestly, a surprising amount of clarity.
This is such a powerful moment of self-awareness. She isn't blaming Tanay. She's not making the other girl out to be a villain. She gets it. His actions were completely innocent. Her focus is entirely on herself. Why am I feeling this way? And that right there separates jealousy from accusation.
And that leads to this beautiful way of reframing it. Feeling jealous doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't mean you're flawed. It just means you're human. It's a sign that you care about someone, and that fear of losing that connection, well, it's real.
Meera's approach here is it's a masterclass in how to be a good friend. She doesn't tell Rhea what to do. First, she gives her a choice, which puts Rhea back in control. Second, she validates the feeling. You're not stupid. You're human, which takes away the shame. And third, she offers this gentle piece of wisdom. It's okay to feel it. Just don't let that feeling take the steering wheel.
Now, Rhea being quiet, that doesn't go unnoticed. The rest of the group, and especially Tanay, they can feel the shift. And how they choose to respond is absolutely key.
And I love this because it shows such a mature way of handling things. Today's first instinct isn't to get defensive, it's concern. He's worried he might have hurt her without realizing it. And Sana's advice is just as wise. Don't push. Just give her some space to figure things out. That's a huge act of trust and respect.
And that really gets at a key idea, doesn't it? We often think that caring for someone means rushing in to fix everything for them. But what we see here is that sometimes true care means doing the exact opposite. It means stepping back and giving someone the room they need to navigate their own feelings.
And notice, this isn't an apology, because he didn't do anything wrong. This is an act of deep emotional respect. Tanay isn't admitting he's guilty of anything. He's opening a door for communication. He's basically saying, your feelings are valid and I want to know about them. It's a small gesture, but it completely rebuilds the bridge between them.
So after that moment, you can just feel the atmosphere start to clear. That tension that was hanging over everyone starts to lift, and it's replaced by something that feels lighter, but also somehow stronger and more mature than it was before.
So Kabir tries another joke, and this time it lands. For real.
The whole group laughs, genuinely. And that's the signal that the emotional storm has passed. They navigated a really difficult moment without any drama, and the release is just, you could feel it. The group's balance is back. So when you pull it all apart, what's the big takeaway here? Well, this really spells it out. First, jealousy, that really intense human feeling, it doesn't have to be a relationship killer. The real danger isn't the feeling itself, it's the silence and the assumptions that tend to follow it. What this group shows us is that choosing to understand someone instead of confronting them is always the more powerful choice. And in the end, that kind of emotional awareness of yourself and others is what makes your bonds even stronger. So in the end, we're left with this really gentle but super powerful idea. Jealousy might come knocking, sure, but it doesn't have to move in and stay forever. When it's met with empathy and space and real communication, it can be shown the door just as quietly as it arrived.
And that kind of leaves us all with a question to think about, right? In our own lives, when we feel that familiar little pang of jealousy, or maybe when we see a friend who's struggling with it, how can we be the one to just pause, take a breath, and choose understanding over assumption?